Welcome to another episode of an interview with a light worker. This is Caesar, your divine brother. Namaste Shanti, my beautiful divine brothers and sisters. And today we have a special guest, our divine brother,
Cody, Mann.
Cody, Mann. All right. So I'm really excited, guys. I know we actually started sharing the post 20 minutes ago, but we're here, we're live, and we're in the now. Tonight's going to be a really exciting episode. Why? Because I realized that we learn a lot every single day. Every single day we're learning something new, and we can learn a lot from each other. So as a collective, as we come together and share our stories and our experiences and what we're going through, I know for a fact it's going to help others on their journey, other people that are in their awakening, that have been awakened, or are progressing more in the spiritual journey, all walks of life, people in all types of levels. So as we journey here and together within this now moment on planet Earth, this amazing time, we have our divine brother Cody Mann that's going to be sharing his experience on awakening. So Cody, it's time for you to take the floor, and I'm really excited, man. Feel free, whatever you feel comfortable sharing. We want to see. Let's take us back in time, and share with us your story.
Awesome. Thank you so much, my beautiful divine brother. That was a great introduction. So, guys, like I said, I'm Cody. We all have a path that we're going down, and we all come across the awakening process at different times. It's different for all of us, but the great thing about this is that we actually get to share with each other and resonate with people who are on similar journeys with us, so that we can relate and maybe help to understand ourselves a little better. So just to start out with, I'll take you back to when I was a kid. I didn't really have anything that was truly spoke to me, that told me anything that really showed me just how the world really was and what my purpose was. But how it happened for me, I just it was more of a feeling. And so pretty much as a kid, I just felt that something was amiss in the world. And, it wasn't so black and white that we were told or that we learned, and, something just seemed off. I didn't know what it was, but I was like, okay, whatever. And so I kind of went through my life. And as I got older, I started to think, I started to get this feeling that, I have a much bigger purpose than what I'm being told. And, I'm supposed to make a difference in the world, to make a change, to help people, to do something that's truly going to make an impact. And so, I didn't know what that was, but I just kind of went with it. I was like, okay, being a kid, didn't really have any experiences which told me that until I got older. And so fast forward to, I guess, my college days. So I was studying to be a physics major. I was studying to be an engineer. And along my journey, I started to, I really struggled with physics because, I'm more of a philosophical thinker. So, trying to take my right brain mind and study a left brain concept without any knowledge of the metaphysical or the spiritual world was very difficult. And so, but what that did was because it was so hard for me to understand and hard for me to grasp, I started to seek answers elsewhere instead of just, studying and delving into my books and everything. I realized, okay, this isn't going to work because, there's something deeper that's keeping me from learning this information. So what happened was we actually had a hypnotist come to our college, and he shared with us some of the most incredible things I've ever seen. And some things that night really spoke to me. And one of those things was that he said, you can improve your grades, you can improve your performance in sports. You can do all these things just by, just from the process of self-hypnosis. And so, that really triggered something. And it wasn't until a year later, after watching that demonstration that he put on for us, that I truly started to, delve into what he was really talking about. And so I started to look up self-hypnosis things on YouTube, and I started to purchase all these different programs. And like I said, the whole purpose of that was to help me with my grades. So I started to practice all of these things, and kind of, I had like some self-hypnosis audios I would listen to a couple times a day, and it kind of got me in the process of like meditating and stuff like that. So I kind of started to unlock a little bit, but not too much yet. But what it did was it started me down that path. And so, I don't know, I had like several different audios I would listen to work on my grades, to improve my confidence, to do all these different things that I was struggling with. And so I started meditating a little bit more every single day. And it got to the point where I was meditating in the morning and at night. And along that along the way, I started to ask more questions about myself. And I started to think, why do I do these things? Why do I interact with people the way that I do? Why do I say the things that I say? Why do I think about things the way that I do? And so that really just sparked an interest in discovering more about myself. And as you all know, the path of awakening comes when you start to ask more questions. And so, I started to reach out to my parents and ask, things that I did when I was young, and started to learn a little bit about myself. Okay, so I'm in college. It's probably my junior year. And, I was learning more and more, and I was really gaining this momentum. I was becoming very interested in all of these things that I was learning, all these possibilities that we all possessed. And I was like, wow, this is incredible. If we can do this, I can only imagine what else is possible out there. So what happened was I actually joined a marketing program, because I wanted to start to help people start to, maybe show what I've learned, or, just kind of try something new and see if it's right for me. And so what that did was it allowed me to create my website, the Cody Codex. And I thought, okay, this is the perfect way for me to reach out to people, to connect with people. And, when I help people learn more about themselves, it's going to in turn help me realize things about myself. And so, it's a give and take relationship. So I was like, perfect, And so along that path, I started to, I was making blogs. I was doing a lot of research, and I started reading more books about metaphysical stuff and about past lives and law of attraction. And, you know, suddenly it started to click. Everything started to fall into place. You know, the law of attraction started to bring things to me. And it really opened me up to see how the world really was. I started to delve into these, like, you know, conspiracy theory things and like past life regression and, you know, all these metaphysical topics. And so it really, I don't know, it really helped me to see what my true purpose was, because I'll go back to, as a kid, I felt that I had a much greater purpose here than just working a 9-to-5 job and, you know, doing that my whole life and then dying. And I was like, wow, I can truly make a difference. I can truly help people. And so, you know, I continued to engage in my blogs. I continued to connect with people. And I started to join various Facebook groups where, excuse me, where I met a plethora of different people, such as my brother Caesar. I met him through Passion Planet, and he's a true inspiration. You know, he just he just gives and gives and gives, and it just inspires me to see people like that, and to be able to connect with beautiful souls such as himself. And so,
thank you, my brother.
yeah.
I appreciate it. I love your kind words. Thank you. Likewise, man. It's
Oh,
just
thank
like
you.
it was an instant connection, man. It was awesome, and that's what you know. It's like I say, you know, the divine puts people in your life for a reason. Everyone we encounter, you know, there's a reason for everything. Just like you know, when we're in kids and we're in school, and the teacher was gonna put people in groups, or the desk in groups and assign people different seats. You know, well organized. It's the same way how, you know, relationships work in a sort of way in life. You know, I'm the divine is gonna bring you in my life, and I in your life, and there are things I'm gonna learn from you, and there's things you're gonna learn from me, and there's things we're gonna learn together. You know, and just that process, it's a natural process. It's like how part of the natural evolution of life. And I know that, you know, our relationship and the relationships we're going to develop with other divine brothers and sisters as we grow in this, you know, this divine journey of ascension together with unity consciousness, it's going to be one fun, loving, divine ride. And that's for sure. I had to choose my words closely. But Cody, I had a really great question for you. As I was listening to your story, and, you know, I didn't want to interrupt you, but, you know, when you were speaking about and how when you started to speak and ask questions, you know, about yourself, trying to learn more about yourself. And, you know, when I heard that, the first thing I thought, like, wow, this guy right here, he was knocking, so he can find. Knocking, you shall find, and you're knocking. And I think, I believe that's what a lot of us uh, go through in our first phase of awakening, is that we start opening our mind. We start viewing and perceiving things to be strange and to be weird, and that curiosity just builds this drive, this pull towards a direction of like wanting to know more. Like, who am I? What am I? What am I a part of? What's going on? What is this? What is that? You know, that's what basically sparks everyone's journey. And so what I thought was really important, because quick example, and I want to let you answer the question. Was like some of my first awakening questions that I started to look into and research. My first one was, what is the meaning of life? And I remember doing this Google search on a Boost mobile phone that I had. And it was like an old phone, small way, it wasn't no touch screen. And so I'm like scrolling down. I gotta put each, I gotta write it out each letter at a time. It's funny. But I was able to find websites where I was able to read a certain amount of text what was the meaning of life. And I started to encounter really deep spiritual lessons, more like some really deep stuff, and I like what I was reading because now finally I was like, wow, there's more to life. There's more to the box that I'm in. I was literally in the kitchen and looking. I started to look at the lines in the room, and I started to follow, and I was like focusing on them and looking at the lines because I was becoming aware of this box I was contained into. I'm like, wow, I'm really am in a box. My perception is limited to these walls. you know, pretty funny.
I
So,
would never actually really think about
that
it.
just, right? I swear, and what that led me to visualize, like the vision I was given, was the video game Sims. Remember that it's in place. It's really popular on computer, Xbox, PlayStation. Sims characters, dude. Like, and it was showing me like, yo, you are a Sims character on this level. You're this flesh. It's a physical aspect of who you are, but it's not really who you are. It's like your higher self having the control and playing the video game. When we create this character in the Sims world, and you get to live a Sims life or make your Sim do whatever you want, basically. That's what's on a higher level. That's basically what's going on. And as we're in these suits and our characters within this simulation, within this dream, within a dream, within infinite dream, and this multi-dimensional reality, right? It gets so deep, man, because now, like, touching into not to get off like crazy off topic, but just like perceiving this as like a virtual reality or a dream world, or whatever the case might be. You know these beginning questions, I feel like they're meant to give us the jump start we need on our awakening journey. Because the faster you can expand your mind and be open-minded and expand your consciousness, your awareness, and the more you learn about yourself and you tune in, you're preparing yourself like a flower. You're growing, and soon you're going to be able to blossom. And when you blossom, and your lotus, your crown is blossom open, you're going to receive abundance, a flow of abundance of energy. So much information that is going to come through, you're not going to be able to with it all. It's like powdered gold being poured onto your hands, and you're trying to catch it all. There's so much gold dust falling between your hands. And whatever you could catch, whatever you can maintain, you can melt and you can mold into something that you can keep for a lifetime. And I believe this is what these conversations are for. So, my divine brother, when you were talking about how in the beginning you had these certain questions, you wanted to discover more on yourself, like, what was some of the deep questions you asked and you sought out the answer to have an even more awakening experience? That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, for me, it was like, it's kind of like solving a mystery, In a mystery, you have to ask certain questions, and then you have to figure out where you need to go to find that answer. And so for me, it was like it came in glimpses, like sometimes it was completely random. Like this one time I was working out, and then something popped in my head, like a question, something, just kind of like why my actions are a certain way. And I was just like, wow, and I started to dig a little bit deeper. But like some of the questions that I started to ask myself were kind of, one thing that I struggle with um, was confidence. I didn't have much, because like I said, I was doing physics, and since that's not really my path, it didn't really vibe with the way that I think. I could really wrap my head around it, and um, so I started to believe that I was just, I started to feel like I was stupid, like I was inferior to everyone else, and I was like, why do I feel like that? Like, why is it so hard for me to grasp these things? Why is it so hard for me to develop that confidence within myself to understand these things? And also, I wasn't very confident in my ability to something that I would learn. I would be afraid that to tell other people about this, like information, not like this, like stuff that I learned in the classroom, because I was afraid to tell them the wrong information. So I was like, I was struggling with confidence. So I was like, okay, so why why do I have a lack of confidence? Um, and I started to think back to predominantly when I was in high school. I always like to be like the clown. I like to make everybody laugh. I like to have a good time, to have fun, and and a lot of times I would do that by acting kind of stupid. I would act dumb, and I was kind of yeah, no,
Been there, done that.
yeah, I was known as like the smart dumb kid because I do really good in the classroom, but I would just like ask I would just ask a bunch of questions and just like just say stuff that was just you know just just to get people to laugh pretty much. Like I would like in class I would ask questions, um kind of dumb questions that that I knew would make people laugh, and so like I started to develop this image of myself that you know that I was stupid, I guess, and I subconsciously I know it's weird, but like subconsciously it just the things that we say to ourselves and the things that we do, I started to realize like I joked around all those years, and I would say that I would be like, oh well, I'm just not that smart, that's why. Like if something would come up and I just joke about it, I'd laugh it off. I didn't think anything about it. So I was like, I started to realize the power of our words and what that has in our life and how it truly affects our subconscious, like at a much deeper level. Like consciously, I didn't think I was stupid. I was just like just messing around. Subconsciously, our subconscious doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. So, my subconscious has taken all of this in, and I started to believe it, and I was like, damn, I'm about to fix that. So, so I started to use the right words, to not get those thoughts in my head, and and I kind of started to ask my mom like things about like what I did when I was a child, and I kind of started to ask questions about like why certain things happened. She I don't know, because like when I was little, I it's like my birth mom. She she wasn't there for me, and she was she did a lot of bad stuff, and like she left, and so the woman that I call mom now, she like I've known her since I was born, but she's not actually like my birth mom, but to me she's my mom, and so like I would ask her questions like like what exactly happened like when I was a kid, and because I started to realize the root of all of our problems comes from somewhere, and so I had to figure out like what was causing these problems within myself, and so I started to like just kind of see the world in a different light. It kind of put things into perspective for me that people are just people. I mean, like I mean we're all spirits, but you know on a physical level, you know, we're all just people, and we're all just trying to get by in the world, and we all have our faults and things that make us, you know, do things that we do. And so I was like, okay, so I started to see people as like, you know, they make mistakes, you know, because you grow up with this false sense of like everybody that's an adult is like perfect, you know, like they don't make mistakes and all the advice they give you is right. And so it kind of started to change the way that the way that I saw the world. And so, you know, really to answer your question, I just kind of started to ask more questions about my past. Um, some questions I had to ask myself, and then some questions I had to seek out, like my mom. I think I asked my grandpa some questions. You know, just kind of things that I did when I was a kid, and things that happened that I just needed to understand a little better, so that I can understand myself now, because you know that affects you throughout your whole life, especially when you're younger, because that's molding your, you know, that's kind of setting you up for what your life is going to be like from that point forward, because your brain has to form these neural connections. And so like till the age of 5, you know, you're very, you know, you're very sensitive to the world, and to interactions and everything that happens to you. You're like a sponge. And so I was just, you know, I was just curious of, you know, kind of what happened, so I could understand it a little better. So like you said, you know, curiosity is what really sparked my awakening.
Beautiful. So, and how many years or months you could say it's been? Like, what's the estimate time? Like, how, like, do you remember the year you first started to awaken?
Hmm. I feel like my true awakening, where I really started to see the world for what it was, came probably my junior year of college, which would have been, let's see, about 2 years ago, I believe. Um, but I kind of started meditating. I kind of started my spiritual path about 3.5, 4 years ago. But I would say my true awakening, where I started to see the world for what it was and my role in the world, I would say would probably be about 2 years. Because, you know, I started to see like, you know, kind of like conspiracy stuff. I don't know if you guys are into that, but, you know, it kind of started to get me seeing, yeah, I'm sure you are, but so, you know, it kind of started to get me seeing things from different perspectives. Kind of like I said, you see different people in different ways. And I just started to see how the world truly was, you know, with my blinders off, essentially. And then from there, I was able to figure out how I could how I could make a difference. And you know, these bad things that I was seeing happening, how I could, you know, how I could make the world a better place, so that these things don't have to happen every single day. And yeah, and it just, and from there, I kind of started to realize that this is my role. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is why I was put here, to make a difference. You know, to truly help people. And that's what really sparked me creating my blog, which was actually right after I created my blog, when I started doing more research, because it's the Cody Codex, and I named it that because, you know, Codex is like a secret document kind of thing, and my intention was to help people kind of unravel the mystery within themselves. And you know, I got the catchphrase "hack back into your life" because I want people to uncover their mystery that lies within. And you know, and I was just inspired to want to help people do that in the way that in the way that it happened for me, because you know, I was going down a path that I was supposed to be there, but at the same time, it's like it wasn't meant for me. You know, physics wasn't my thing, and so I just wanted to help people to see to see a broader perspective of their life and how they can, you know, truly fulfill their purpose on here on earth.
Wow. That is beautiful, my divine brother. That is beautiful. And, you know, I found a lot of similarities, and far as that moment in life when we start to unravel life itself and realize what we're here to do and what's our mission, what are our tasks. And I believe that's the key. And you said it. It's, you know, you're helping yourself awaken and to unravel yourself so you can start helping others to awaken and unravel. You have the codex. You have these secret documents, the information that you research, that you study, your life experiences. You know, that's why this is so valuable. These interviews are so valuable with everyone that we encounter, because everyone's unraveling. It's like we have this huge knot of like headphones. Perfect analogy, man. Having 10,000 headphones, dude, just like ravel. You know, we're trying to unravel all this stuff because we're trying to get to the center, you know? And it's funny, you know, and once you start unraveling your stuff and your ball starts getting smaller, 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 you're going to be so good at unraveling this that you're going to be able to see others that are struggling. Here, let me help you. You're going to help them unravel that bunch. And it's beautiful because the more people we help unravel, and you're like, okay, guys, then you go and help other people unravel, and it's a ripple effect that's going on right now on planet Earth, right now all around the world. As we speak, as we breathe, as we sleep, and as we walk alive and awake in this world, there are amazing things. There's so many magical events happening, so many like realistic movie adventures, saving the world type stuff. There's heroes out there performing their mission, their tasks, their duties. They're saving lives right now as we speak. And as you guys sit there and watch this video, there's people right now risking it all, risking their lives to help Mother Earth. And so we can continue to do what we do every single day. You know, just because we don't see a war going on in the sky doesn't mean we're not being defended by a war in the sky. You know, we truly have to be grateful. And, you know, some people take life for granted. You know, they continue to do what they do or be unconscious of a lot of things and, you know, hurt people, say things to affect people, abuse people, enslave people, you know, and truly whatever you put out there is what you're going to receive right back. And then your attention, when you spoke from your heart, as you went on this journey within yourself, going through a soapless cave and cutting through these webs and searching, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel and running towards it, is like, wow, I made it. I want to help people. I want to, you know, like, I want to become a change the world, my divine brother. And I say that I honor that and I respect it. And thank you so much for being on the team, being on this journey with us, being here present to give your presence to the world, to create change everywhere where you are coexisting, my brother. So thank you.
Thank you, my brother.
So where do you say, where can you say now with your life purpose? I was going into our life purposes here. Where can you see yourself, or where can you see yourself going in the next couple of months, toward the end of this year and for next year?
Well, like I said, so I got my blog, the Cody Codex, And the purpose is to help people, kind of understand their life journey, and their purpose as to why they're here on earth. Um, and so in doing that, and in talking to people, I've realized that, I'm really passionate about helping people sort of draw their negative energy out, their build up and suppressed emotions and things that they've stored away, and helping them transmute that into positive energy, into things that will help them grow, things that will help them understand themselves better. And so what I want to do in the future, hopefully by the end of this year, maybe early next year, I'm going to take I'm going to get my life coaching certificate, and I want to truly start helping people. That way, I really enjoy talking to people and helping them to interpret their problems, interpret their emotions, and sort of guide them down a path that will help them, fulfill their purpose. Kind of more of a futuristic goal. I would like to, possibly be like a motivator, maybe be like a motivational speaker or something like that. I've watched so many videos. That's another thing I forgot to mention. Just watching all these motivational videos and inspirational things truly inspired me to want to get out and inspire others, just as I was inspired myself. Because life is hard. There's no doubt about that, and we all struggle. Um, it's it's like an ocean. We're like waves. We have our ups and we have our downs, and we have our ups and downs, and it's a constant cycle. Um, and so through that, we have to learn things in order to overcome, the hardships. And at times, it's very hard because you get down, you don't know what to do, you don't know where to go, who to talk to, and you just need something more, something to help you, kickstart you back on your track. And watching these motivational videos like Les Brown, really inspired by him. Will Smith had a lot of really good videos and things that he made and put out there. I'm trying to think. Eric Thomas had a lot of good stuff, and I watch these videos, and man, there's some days when I'd be struggling so hard to to finish my to just get by, because I was in college and I was just struggling so hard, and I was just like, I don't know what to do. I'm working my hardest, and I'm putting in everything I have, and it's just not enough. And I would get I would get down, and I'm like, and so I started to watch these videos, and man, some days I would just cry, just like, because it was so like empowering. It was like, it's exactly what I needed to hear. And that really inspired me. I was like, I want to do this for other people. I want to send messages out that other people need to hear, because it's so powerful. It's so powerful because you don't know what other people are going through in their lives. And when you're able to help them and get them back, pick them up and get them going, it's truly, truly a good feeling. It's like the best feeling in the world when you know that you've truly helped somebody. And it's just, man, I love it. And so I'd like to do something like that. Like to speak, make videos that are going to help people. I've been doing that a little bit. Doing live chats with beautiful people such as yourself that also motivate and inspire. You inspire me in many different ways. So it's and so I'm going to give back and just inspire other people. Like I said, I want to be I'm learning how to do Reiki. I've been going to a metaphysical church or a sanctuary. I don't like the denomination of church because it doesn't have a religion. It's really a lot of really open-minded people. A lot of Reiki masters attend there. A lot of like shamans, like master shamans, and a lot of people that channel and stuff like that. So I've been going to that, and I've just been learning a heck of a lot. And so I'm working on. I want to become a
What's it
Reiki
called?
master, and really, I'm in a I'm also in a company, and I want to like where I get to help bring people's health and wealth back to their lives. So I got a lot of different things that I'm doing. Just kind of just trying to give back, because like you said, you got to be grateful for every moment that you're alive, each and every breath, because you don't know when it's going to be taken away. And it's truly a blessing to be here right now, to be on this call with you, and to be able to connect with all of you beautiful souls watching this, and even the ones that aren't watching this. It's truly an honor. And, to be here during this time is it's incredible to see everything going on, all the changes that are happening, all the people that are just truly making a difference. And, to live a human life, to live in this, to go through this experience, it's magic. To experience the five senses, to feel what it's like to eat something, to drink something. It's just, we take a lot of those things for granted because we do them every single day. But as a spirit, we can't do those things. And, I want to show people that, to show them that they have to be grateful for all of these because, we're not always going to have them there to enjoy. And it's truly a blessing. So I kind of got a little bit off topic there, but yeah.
That was amazing. That was right on topic. Man, especially when, yeah, right when you hit it, like, in spirit, we can't taste or eat or do this and that we could do in our physical. And 2 days ago, I was like really diving in deep in that topic you were just talking about. Realizing what we do here in the physical within the flesh and what's going on in the spiritual, and it's one of the lessons I was sharing with one of my divine brothers is that, I tell him, like, hey, thank God your third eye is not fully open because you'd be scared shitless if you're not prepared,
Yeah.
But it's true. It's true, and this is, what, and I have to warn everyone, all divine brothers and sisters. Now, guys, this is not to install fear at all, but it's important to increase your awareness so you're able to protect yourself at all times, okay? This is a message that I guess that's about to start flowing right now. So I was telling my brother Dan that, once you open up your third eye to a certain extent, you're able to see that you cannot see with the two physical eyes. Entities, spirits, angels, demons, other multidimensional beings, aliens, extraterrestrials, life forms, beings, all types of stuff. Okay. Now, the more you increase that awareness within your third eye and within your consciousness, your different levels of consciousness, you'll be able to see certain stuff. Like, you'll be able to see just one guy with like 8 entities attached to him, feeding off his energy. It'll be really, really freaking scary. You'll be able to see other weird things or, other things. You'll be able to see bad spirits in certain areas, certain neighborhoods, around certain people. The lust demons attacking the minds of younger kids, drug demons possessing the minds of the druggies in your neighborhood, spirits of prostitution influencing the women in the area to prostitute keep themselves, you know, they're just all leaping through their holes. Because human beings, my divine brothers and sisters, everyone is a divine brother and sister. I'm not here to judge you on your past and the path that you're on. You know, this is, you know, I'm, you know, this is not religion, you know. We're not here to judge you and to condemn you and to send you to hell. That's not what this is about. This is like, hey, my divine brothers and sisters, no matter what you have done in your past, you are divine. And the pure essence of creation, source creation that has created all creators. So these creators can create more of creation, therefore expanding creation consciousness. We're all part of this. We're all stardust. We're all particles. You know, we're all interconnected. So no matter what path you choose on, even these beings that are playing dark entity roles or villains, and people who are playing the heroes and the healers and the good people and the people in between, everyone is living their purpose. Okay? If you went to the store this morning to get some groceries, that was your purpose. You know, yesterday, before you even to the store, that was still in your destiny. That was still one of your destinations. You were there, you know, so all your life experiences, no matter, you know, what you have done, you know, it's all a part of this grand infinite story. You know, everyone is creating their story. And I say this and I repeat this a lot of times because people have to realize, like, we were listening to Cody's story, you know, and in the future we're going to be listening to even more and more people's stories. Everyone is the creator of their story. That's the point I want to prove, guys. The reason why I was thinking about, you know, the third eye scene and being aware of this is that you guys have to be aware that as you go on this journey, you will be tested. If you put yourself out there and say, I'm spiritual, I'm holy, I'm awake, I'm a really nice person, and I want to do good stuff, but then you're allowing these other entities to test you, whatever their ability is, either the demon of lust, the demon of drugs, the demon of alcohol, the demon of cigarettes, the spirit of this, the spirit of that, whatever it is, trust me, they will come. That's why there's this really famous picture of Buddha sitting on a tree. I have it on my cell phone somewhere. Buddha sitting into a tree, you see this aura, and you see these demons outside trying to break through and go into his aura, trying to attack. So light workers, star seeds, divine brothers, divine sisters, those who are now awakening on journey, be careful and prepare yourself, okay? And most importantly, go within any information you come across on the internet, videos, podcasts, books, whatever the case might be. Yes, analyze it, be open-minded, acknowledge, understand it, and then also digest it within yourself. You know, and ask your inner self, your higher self, your infinite self, your source self. You know, what does this information mean and what is truth? You know, ask that the truth be revealed to you. You know, it's really, really important because I had to learn a long time ago in my time of awakening that there is deception on all levels. Deception on all levels. You know, there's one source of information that the Galactic Federation is really positive, it's really awesome, they're here to do this or that. There's other information like they have their own hidden agenda, certain races, they have their own agendas, so on and so forth. You know, it's like there's always positive, there's always negative. You know, same thing with like angels. When people get into angel worshiping, guys, if you're angel worshiping, the only ones that really want your worship are those that feed off that worship, those fallen angels, those angels that need your energy to survive, compared to those angels that are sent by the divine and is flowing abundantly through source creation, and here helping you within your source creation. You know, the divine, we have our divine, our guides that help us and protect us, loving unconditionally. And then we have these other guides that, again, you as a vessel, as a free will, you allow these beings to have interactions in your reality. You know, if you choose to start worshiping these false idols, or idols, period, if you start worshiping beings outside yourself, you're giving your energy away. You're giving your power away. You are a creator. You are here to create. That's why creation created you, created everyone that is watching this, so you can create your unique, beautiful, divine story. You know, because your story, Cody Mann, expands the universe. It adds another story into all the collective stories, you know. So we have to be prepared, you know, divine brothers and sisters, as we awaken. Remember, there's deception on all levels. You know, you can acknowledge and you can love beings like, for example, myself, like two beings that I will allow in my space and call upon whenever I need help is Jesus Christ, Yeshua, Emmanuel, Isa, right? So many different names. Jesus Christ or Krishna, Lord Krishna himself. Those two divine beings. Those two divine beings I trust within my area, within my field, you know. And again, I ask Mother, Father, Father, Mother, source creation, creation, universe, consciousness, wherever you want to create it, God, on a basic level, to send me those beings. You know, you ask source, can you please, you know, thank you for sending me who the true Christ is. Thank you for sending me Lord Krishna to my aid, you know, and therefore those true beings will come. Now, therefore, for those people who are doing rituals or doing sacrifices, who are doing magic and having to wear certain jewelry or certain pendants or certain things to receive luck and abundance and beautiful things, guys, this worship, the energy giving, you as a powerful divine being, you're giving your creation energy to someone, to something, to something. You're like, here, I'm powerless. I don't know how to manifest this in my life or change my life around. Here, being, here, eat my energy, and please, you know, please use some of that energy to help me back. You know, so, what you think about that, Cody?
Oh, no, I really liked it, man. Actually, I didn't. You actually said a couple golden nuggets that I wasn't really aware of. Like, you know, you said there's like deception on every level, and you said there's like, what you said? There's like angels that are good and angels that are, well, that are good and angels that are bad, I guess. I always thought if it's an angel, you know, it's going to be good, or is that right? So there's like ones that'll deceive
yeah,
you,
you
ones
have,
that won't.
yes, you have your divine guardian angels, right, that are sent through source. And then you have the false light angels. There were fallen angels. There's so many other names, there's so many different researches people to get into, but you have both sides. And
Oh, okay.
I had, yeah.
Nice. Wow. Yeah, I think.
And I had my encounters.
What's that? Sorry.
Oh, I said that I have had my encounters with both.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, it's
So
it gives you a lot of contrast, you know, which is really important in a world of duality, because you know sometimes it's hard to see the bigger picture if we don't have both sides. Um, you know, and like for me, I only really have one experience that I can think of that really opened me up and showed me like that there are other beings on other levels that can truly affect you. And you know, it was it's a pretty dark time for me, but it showed me a lot. You know, it was I think it was a little over a year last year, like it was May of last year. I had a seizure, and you know, so when that happens, you know, it kind of opens up your gateway to allow other things in because you're at a weakened state. And so I had some kind of like dark entity come in, and you know, after everything transpired and everything, you know, settled down, and I got you know, got back going on my life and everything. I started to be affected like in ways that I never had before, and I was like, what's going on here? You know, I was getting like these panic attacks, like these. I would just get anxiety like out of nowhere from nothing. Just like it would happen. It like wouldn't go away. It was like a bad trip, like a bad acid trip. And I was just like, man, what is going on? And I had this dream that was just like all of my fears, like my biggest fears, just like happened, you know, in my dream, and it scared the shit out of me. And I was like, wow, you know, something's going on here. And so I started to realize that something else had had attached to me. And so, you know, before I'd heard, you know, there's beings all around us and everything, but I didn't have that. I didn't have that. You know, I didn't have that perspective because I hadn't. It hadn't happened to me personally. So at that point, I was like, all right. So, you know, I became aware of what was going on, and with awareness comes power. And so, with this new sense of awareness, I was able to effectively, you know, essentially get rid of it. I pretty much just like, pretty much just like sat in like a dark room because like I was like scared of like the dark. I was like scared of anything that was like outside of me. And you know, I get like I said, I get these like panic attacks just out of nowhere for no reason. And like it seemed to happen like all like it just wouldn't go away. It was like my constant state, and it was very new to me. But so what I did was, in an attempt to face it, I pretty much was just like I put on some like music that's not, you know, it's kind of scary music. And so I pretty much faced my fears. Like I was just like anything that scared me before, I kind of just sat there and just like was like, all right, you know, I'm not afraid. And yeah, from that point forward, like it started to slowly die out. Within a week or two, it was gone. But you know, it taught me a lot, and it kind of helped me like step into my darkness, so to speak. Um, you know, step into that shadow aspect of life that you know, I'm sure there's some people that go through that every single day, or you know, just people that have possibly had that their whole lives. You know, and so like for me, it was like really empowering because while it was something that most people would call bad, you know, that happened, you know, I've learned that those experiences, those down, you know, those dark moments in your life are the moments where you get to learn the most. And from that point forward, I was like, I was able to understand a lot more about the, you know, the higher realms and the things that affect our spiritual bodies. And I was able to shield myself better, and I was able to, you know, better control my energy and everything around me. And so, yeah, that's just kind of something I just wanted to add because you're talking about, you know, everything higher dimensional beings affecting you. So I was like, you know, that was kind of my big experience with it, and it taught me a lot. What what's your what's your biggest learning experience with, you know, higher dimensional beings like that, like things that have affected you in your spiritual body? good or bad?
Well, there's a lot of stories, more than enough, too many to cover. But there was one that I wanted to talk about, which was a recent experience that happened this year with my divine sister Jahira, which you had the opportunity to meet. You guys met
Yeah,
for the first time. Well, we all met in the first time in Chicago a couple of months ago.
that was awesome.
And yeah, I know that was a really deep night, man. That was a really
You were
we
flowing,
had
man.
that night. Right? I was
Deep.
in
I
the
was like,
flow.
wow, I should be taking notes or something.
Straight up, like, people see me through the videos and they say that they get so inspired and and motivated. It's like me in person, like wow, it's like beyond high definition. It's there in the physical, and I like having a good time with my brothers, and my sisters. So basically a couple of months ago, I have went. I think it was last year when I was in Chicago. I went to this meetup, and it was a moon ritual type of like meetup, and it was basically like a meditation. And this guy, he was a shaman, and he was performing a ritual. Um, you know, other than clearing the space, and we did a meditation, and then the ritual was basically everyone had a flower, and then you hold the head of the flower, you would like break it off the stem, you have it in your hand, and then people will like blow in like their worries and the frustrations or all that they want to let go, everything that they want to release. They pray in it, and then you release it onto the flower. And then what you do is you put the flower in the middle, in the center, where they had where they developed this vortex of energy, and then you basically essentially you purify yourself with the energy, and close off the circle and that. So basically, I went to this meetup. It was pretty cool. There was like 30, 40 people in there. I showed up there late. Now, mind you, like I had a white shirt just like this around my head. I had my crystal chains hanging out. I'm going into this room like out of nowhere, and as I walk in, everyone looks at me. Like everyone looks at me. Like I like literally my body starts to get shaky because as an empath, bro, I can feel everyone. Like I can feel everyone. Like, oh my God, who is he? Who is that? What's the? It's really freaking out. And just me walking in there as a pharaoh out of nowhere, I guess, surprised some people. So I was like, kind of like, yeah, even my leg was kind of shaky. So, I had a really great time, at the meditation circle. Then the next following one, I invited Jahira. Jahira went with me. We had a really great time. I met some really great friends. I met Angelica and her cousin Sabina, and another one of her cousins. And um, and it was a jump start for our Passion Planeteer meetup. So basically, around that time, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm meeting new spiritual people here in Chicago. I want to go to more meetups. So I found this other meetup on Facebook. It was supposed to be angel, about angels, and it said angel feast of or archangel's feast or something like that, right? I mean, I wasn't really clear understanding with the whole feast part, but what I seen was like 23 people going. And I was looking at the list. Oh, like, cool, 23 people. I guess these are all people who like angels, and people are going to be excited. I said, Jahira, yo, let's go. And then Jahira's little sister, she's awakening, and she's really curious about a lot of things. And she's like, hey, my sister, she wants to go with us. She's like, what do you think? Um, Now, Jahira knows how intuitive I am. That's like my partner right there, and in holy warfare. So she, yeah, she's like, what do you think? And like, I tuned in, and then something was telling me like, no, like she should stay back because we don't know who we're gonna meet there, who's gonna be there, what's gonna be surrounding them, whatnot. Let's us go that we're more advanced. And she could probably go next time if everything goes well. So she's like, okay, cool. So as we're driving to this place, we parked in front of the house, and we couldn't find, like, we're walking around trying to find where this location at. Like, I would think, man, 23 people, you'll see cars, or you see, like, people outside, or you see some type of live action to be like, hey, look, we're here. So we couldn't find the person, and I had to call the person, and she ended up being right where we parked the car. So she comes down, she opens the door for us. I'm walking in. Then I have my my Egyptian. So I call this my Egyptian swag. my ego tick. My ego side. But yeah, this is my Egyptian swag right here. So I had my Egyptian swag, and then I had my it's like a bathrobe, but this robe it has the pattern of the flower of life all around his robe.
Man.
The flower life, dude. And it's all pure white.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm like, cool, like, we hanging out with like-minded angel people, like, it's time for me to wear my outfit. Right? So I'm like, I got my little outfit on, I got my pendant. This is my pendant style night, my angelic crystal. I have it like wrapped around my neck. It's my, my healing one if I need it. So we're walking up the stairs. I'm like, okay, wow, it's gonna be an apartment. Cool, I hear nothing. We walk into the apartment, and there's no one in the apartment. It's just this Mexican chick, okay? And this chick does not look nothing like her picture. She looks like she's been having that profile picture since like high school days, okay? So this person's like, whoa, like, like, what the hell is this? And I'm like, red flags, red flags, red flags. And before we even called the person, I told Jahar, look, I don't know what I'm feeling right now. I'm picking up on something, but we're going to have a code word. So when I say, it's time, I mean, it's time to get the fuck out of there. Excuse my language. Again, excuse my language. It's time to get out. And she understood that pretty well. So when we went upstairs, we go into her house, and then she's like, sit in this little room. And I'm like, it's like an empty bedroom, but I mean, it's not empty. Obviously, it's she had some chairs in there, but it was really small. She had this like altar, literally like a computer desk, but she had like some type of blanket over it, and then she had angel statues, and she had these candles with like angels on it. And then I'm looking around, she had crystals, and she had reading cards, angel reading cards, and so on and so forth. So as soon as we get there, she wants to start the ceremony. Oh, okay, all right, sit down. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna start. I'm like, whoa, hold on, slow it down. Like, okay, can you at least, let us know what are we getting into? What's so special about today's day? Why are we doing this thing? Where the hell is everyone else? Like, it's supposed to be 23 people. And so the lady, the girl, she was like pretty nervous. Like, she was stuttering a lot. It was like red flag. So like, Jahar looks at me, I give her the look. I'm like, let's go with the flow. Let's see what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen? It's a learning experience. So we sit down, the lady's like, okay, just sit down, just clear, and get soft. Just be positive. So like, okay, cool. So we basically sit down, and then Jahara, she gets into her meditation, and I try to sit down and try to meditate and be clear, but like, I'm feeling that I'm picking up on something. Something's bothering me. It's not letting me focus. So then when I focus more, I instantly, with my third eye, I think the Santa Muerte. Okay? Now the Santa Muerte, it's one of their saints. It's the Grim Reaper, the one that looks like a Grim Reaper. and he was in the room. That spirit, that entity was in the room. So I'm like, okay, this chick is Mexican. She worships the thing. You know, she actually, you know, does stuff with So I opened up my eyes and I'm like, okay, so his statue has to be, if he's here, the statue has to be in the room. So I, you know, I asked my, you know, inner self, higher self, you know, that self. I'm like, where is it? And then like, you know, my vision is turned. I'm looking underneath the table. She has an altar. There's this black, I mean, there's this square box, but it's covered with like this glittery, black glittery blanket. And it's like, it's right there. The statue's right there. And then somebody comes to look more this way, and there's like these cells that had like doors and they're closed off. And it looks like she has more magic stuff there. So as I was analyzing this, you know, I already got done with the meditation. The lady got done with the meditation. So Hyrule still had her eyes closed. And she was praying. She was praying to, the lady told us to pray to Archangel Michael, Raphael, and I forgot the other one. So Jahara was praying to Raziel at the time. And so when we got done with the meditations, I was like, hey, mind if I use the washroom before I do the ritual? You know, go through this ritual. So Jahara goes to the restroom and she's actually, you know, the creator of all that is. She's like, you know, revealed to me who she is. And while she's saying that, I'm talking to the girl in the room, and the girl said something at the same moment to answer God that she needs to be revealed. So as we're going through this weird thing, right? Okay, I know that one is not who she says she is or who she thinks she is. Tuning into something more fishy behind it. So Jahara comes into the room, the lady's like, okay, well, we're gonna start doing the ritual. On the sofa, we're gonna light the candle. She's like, well, we're gonna start off with the four corners. She's like, I'm gonna show you how to do the first one, and then you guys can do one each. So she starts off with one corner, and like she's saying something, and she calls out Archangel Michael. And she looks like she's drawing a 5-point star backwards, right? So like a straight. You could tell with the 5-point star backwards in there. Like I'm just looking at it when she's done. She puts a circle around it, and then she like does like a stabbing motion. It looks seems like a stabbing motion. Some people that's when they open up the portal. So when she went like that, boom! I felt a presence come into the room. I felt a presence coming right into the room, man. And it was an angel, but it wasn't one of our holy angels. You know, she's believing and she's thinking that she's, you know, there with Archangel Michael himself, the protector of good, and, you know, so on and so forth. But that's not what she was bringing in. And then she did the second one. So she's like, okay, so now we're going to go to the east, and we're going to do blah, blah, blah. She does it again. Boom, another entity enters the room. I'm like, oh shit. So at the same time, one, I'm not into fear. That's one lesson I learned a long time ago. You can never fear. I got my aura strengthened, and I'm protecting Jahira too. I have to shield over her as well, because she has her strong shield, right? I got 2 shields. So we know we're protected. And then she's like, okay, now it's your turn. Now you have to do the next shield. I'm like, no. And I get up. I'm like, no gracias. She's like, what's going on? And I'm like, and then like Jahira starts speaking out. She goes in. I'm like, yes, thank God she's talking. That gives me time to process more behind the scenes.
Wait, she said what?
Jahira's talking to her. Jahira starts asking her questions, and she's like, where did you get this ritual? Tell you how to do this ritual, so on and so forth. And she's like, oh, from like some type of black thing. Oh, where's the book? Well, I'll show you later. Like it was a rebuttal factor going back and forth. And Jahira was like, well, you shouldn't do this. It's nothing good. You're not bringing good stuff. And she's like, oh, well, I'm sorry. And she wanted us to read from these little prayer books. And these same prayer books, we've seen this guy that was into brujeria, santeria, and was Lucifer's basically son, right? Devil's son. That's how high ranking he was. And now he gave his life to Christ, and he spends his days um, exposing that type of realm. And he talked about the booklets, and he talked about all types of stuff and rituals that these people do, that they're praying to saints or angels and stuff like that. And it's all fake, you know. The statues, they just have an entity attached to them, you know. So it was pretty crazy. And, you know, we felt those entities coming to the room. We knew what was going on. And it was like, oh, it's time. So we got out of there, and we're in the car, and it's like, oh my God, we're just talking about what happened. And it's like, we're excited about this at that point, because it's like we just went through a cool story, a cool spiritual experience right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was pretty cool to, like, go through that. You know, because, one, we had a positive into fear, like, oh my God, this is so evil, that, you know, people will get too scared and they'll think all angels are evil and they're false or this, and that, or brujeria. You know, like, who knows? That's people's minds. But, you know, we're like, wow, we knew that we were protected. We're safe at all times, and it was a great learning experience to go through. So yeah, that's my story right there.
Wow.
um,
That's
but
pretty crazy.
I say, yeah, I say that we definitely gotta do this again, Cody. I believe it was a really amazing interview. Everyone got to know who Cody is, who Cody Mann is, and, you know, his life purpose and what he's doing. And we definitely have to come back on in the future and just have these conversations and bring other people onto the calls, and for us to all share our stories and experiences, which is going to help with the whole all of us.
Awesome. Well, it was a pleasure, brother. Thank you for having me on.
You want to?
What's that? It's lagging a little bit.
Oh, yeah. There's a lag as well in the network. Any final words, web pages, groups you want to promote before we go here?
Nope. Like I said, you know, my website is the Cody Codex, if you'd like to check it out. You know, I'd love to help as many of you as, you know, as I can. So if anybody would like, you know, but just want to talk and just, you know, kind of get to know each other a little better, you know, I could, we could learn from each other, and, you know, just build a deep relationship with each other. You know, because we all have a gift to give the world, and sometimes we just need to to communicate with other people and connect with other people in order to realize those gifts. And so, yeah, if anybody would like to connect and reach out, I would love to connect with you and truly get to know you, because we all have a story. You know, like you said, my brother, we all have an awakening process. We all have things that we have to go through that makes our journeys unique, and we all have different perspectives to give the world. I like to think that the perspectives that we have are like the puzzle pieces of life, because, you know, we all have different perspectives. And so if you could, you know, see things from other people's perspectives and where they've come from and what they've learned, it helps you see the world in a different way. It expands your picture of what life truly is. So thank you so much, my brother, for having me on. It was a pleasure, and I look forward to being able to do this more in the future.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you so much, Cody. Thank you so much, my divine brother, for taking time out of your day, to share your experience not only with me but with the world and everyone else. And thank you, my divine brothers and sisters, for everyone that has tuned in, our viewers that have been watching. I know Alicia's watching, my divine sister, loving unity. Thank everyone, even those who weren't had the opportunity to be live. But if you're clicking play and you're watching this a day later, a month later, there's no such thing as time. So you still be able to grasp the value and all the gold nuggets that were thrown here today. So I want to end off the show with a beautiful, amazing mantra. I wish everyone a beautiful, loving, abundant, divine night and morning. And I look forward to see you guys on our next show. So, love and unity, namaste, om shanti. Love and unity, namaste, om shanti. Yeah, all right. And we're going off air. Nice.
Namaste.
Okay. So it's